Section 10. Tournaments. Each 2026 FIRST Robotics Competition event is played in a tournament format. Each tournament consists of 3 types of matches: practice matches, not necessarily played at all district events, qualification matches, and playoff matches. The practice matches provide each team with an opportunity to operate its robot on the field prior to the start of the qualification matches. Qualification matches allow each team to earn ranking points, which determine their seeding position and may qualify them for participation in the playoff matches. Playoff matches determine the event champions. 10.1 Match Schedules. A match schedule is used to coordinate matches at an event. Figure 10-1 details information shown on each schedule. Surrogate matches are described in Section 10.5.2 Match Assignment. 10.2 Match Replays. Over the course of the tournament, it may be necessary for a match to be replayed. Typical causes for replays are matches that end in a tie during the playoffs due to criteria listed in Table 10-3 or any finals match. Matches that are stopped because field staff anticipated field damage or personal injury, or if there's an arena fault. An arena fault is an error in arena operation that includes but is not limited to A. Broken field elements due to A. Normal expected gameplay, or B. Robot abuse of field elements that affected the outcome of the match for their opponents. Blue box. A broken field element caused by robot abuse that affects the outcome of the match for their alliance is not an arena fault. B. Power failure to a portion of the field tripping the circuit breaker in the driver's station is not considered a power failure. C. Improper activation by the FMS. Blue box. It is not an arena fault if FMS game data is not sent, not received, or if delayed. Incorrect game data being sent would be considered an arena fault. D. Errors by field staff, except those listed in Section 6.8 Other Logistics, and E. A robot radio disconnect that impairs operation of other robots on the field for more than 8 seconds. If, in the judgment of the head referee, an arena fault occurs that affects the outcome of the match and any team on the affected alliance desires a replay, the match will be replayed. First Headquarters reserves the right to, with consultation of the head referee and the FDA, replay a match in which an arena fault impacts the outcome of an event. Once a match replay is granted, a team may not withdraw the request for the replay. Blue box. The outcome of the match is affected if an error occurs that, in the judgment of the head referee, changes which alliance would have won the match and/or the assignment of ranking points. The outcome of an event is affected if an error occurs that, in the judgment of the first headquarters, changes the assignment of ranking points or has a dramatic effect on points used for ranking criteria. Note that an arena fault that does not affect match outcome, in the judgment of the head referee, does not lead to a match replay. Examples include, but are not limited to, A. A piece of the field plastic falls into the field far away from any human or robot activity, and in such a way that it does not affect match outcome. B. Delay in the playing of an arena sound. C. Mismatch between the timer on the audience screen and the arena timer. D. Any adjustment or delay in assignment of a score or penalty, including those made after the match. And examples of errors by field staff include, but are not limited to, E. A gate being left open when the match starts. F. Mistakenly allowing a robot in violation of I-102 that hasn't passed an initial complete inspection or participate in the match. T201. Replays will be the same. All reasonable effort is made to create the same conditions when replaying a match caused by an arena fault or field damage. This means, for example, that a team that was bypassed prior to the start of the match, which is to be replayed, is bypassed through the replay match. Robot and drive team starting locations do not need to be replicated when replaying a match. Violation. Match will not start until the situation is corrected. Per 6.6.1 yellow and red cards, card assigned in previous matches, including prior instances of the match to be replayed, are not cleared. 10.3 Measurement. At each event, the arena will be open for at least 30 minutes prior to the start of qualification matches, during which teams may survey and/or measure the arena and bring robots on the field to perform sensor calibration. Events may schedule additional measurement and calibration times. The specific times that the field is open will be communicated to teams at the event. Teams may bring specific questions or comments to the FDA. T301. Measurement, not practice. During the period when the arena is open for measurement, A. Robots can be enabled, but may neither drive, extend outside the robot perimeter, nor interact with, e.g. score, push pickup, etc., scoring elements or anything resembling scoring elements, a hub, bump, trench, outpost, or other field elements. B. Humans may touch a scoring element, but may not practice with it, e.g. throw fuel or anything resembling fuel, or use the outpost. Violation. Verbal warning plus yellow card if subsequent violations at any point during the event or egregious. 10.4 Practice matches. Practice matches are played before qualification matches. The practice match schedule is available as soon as possible, but no later than the start of practice matches. For regional events, it will also be published and available online at the FRC event website, except during exceptional circumstances. Practice matches are randomly assigned, and teams may not switch scheduled practice matches. Each team is assigned an equal number of practice matches unless the number of teams multiplied by number of practice matches is not divisible by 6. In this case, the FMS randomly selects some teams to play an extra practice match. Practice matches are not guaranteed at district events due to event schedule constraints. 10.4.1 Filler Line. A filler line is used to fill open slots at events that employ scheduled practice matches or all slots at events with an open practice match schedule. Teams from the filler line are used on a first-come, first-served basis to fill empty spots in practice matches left by other teams that do not report to queuing. The number of teams in the filler line is dependent upon space at venues. Only teams that meet all criteria below qualify for the filler line. A. Robots in the filler line must have passed inspection. This requirement may be waived for events with open practice match schedules. B. Drive teams must join the filler line with their robot. C. Teams may not work on their robot while in the filler line. D. Teams may not occupy more than one spot in the filler line. And E. If a team is queued for their practice match, they may not also join the filler line. 10.5 Qualification Matches. 10.5.1 Schedule. The qualification match schedule is made available as soon as possible, but no later than 30 minutes before qualification matches are scheduled to begin. Teams receive one hard copy, and it is also available on the FRC event website, except during exceptional circumstances. Each qualification schedule consists of a series of rounds in which each team plays one match per round. 10.5.2 Match Assignment. FMS assigns each team 2 alliance partners for each qualification match using a predefined algorithm, and teams may not switch qualification match assignments. The algorithm employs the following criteria listed in order of priority. 1. Ensure each team has at least the minimum required time between matches, varies by event size. 2. Minimize the number of times a team is allied with any team. 3. Minimize the number of times a team plays opposite any team. 4. Minimize the use of surrogates, teams randomly assigned by the FMS to play an extra qualification match. 5. Provide even distribution of matches played on Blue and Red Alliance. 6. Provide even distribution of matches played on each driver station number. Blue Box. More information about the match scheduling algorithm, please see Idle Loop Software's website. At events with fewer than 24 participating teams, the criteria are similar, except number 5 is changed to minimize the number of times a team swaps between Blue and Red Alliance rather than an even distribution. All teams are assigned the same number of qualification matches equal to the number of rounds unless the number of teams multiplied by number of matches is not divisible by 6. In this case, the FMS randomly selects some teams to play an extra match. For the purpose of seeding calculations, those teams are designated as surrogates for the extra match. If a team plays a match as a surrogate, it is indicated on the match schedule, it is always their third qualification match, and the outcome of the match has no effect on the team's ranking. Yellow and red cards assigned to surrogates, however, do carry forward to subsequent matches. 10.5.3 Qualification Ranking. Ranking points are units credited to a team based on their alliance's performance in qualification matches. Ranking points are awarded to each eligible team at the competition completion of each qualification match per Table 6-4. Exceptions to ranking point assignments are as follows. A. A surrogate receives 0 ranking points. B. A disqualified team, as determined by the head referee, receives 0 ranking points. C. A no-show team is either disqualified from or issued a red card for that match. CG 208. A team is declared a no-show if no member of the Dream Team is in the Alliance area at the start of the match. The total number of ranking points earned by a team throughout their qualification matches divided by the number of matches they've been scheduled to play, minus any surrogate matches, then rounded to 2 decimal places is their ranking score, RS. All teams participating in qualification matches are ranked by ranking score. If the number of teams in attendance is N, they are ranked 1 through N, with 1 being the team with the highest ranking score and N being the team with the lowest ranking score. Teams are ranked in order using the sorting criteria defined in Table 10-1. Table 10-1 Qualification Match Ranking Criteria. 1. Ranking Score. 2. Average Alliance Match Points not including minor fouls and major fouls. 3. Third. Average fuel scored in auto. 4th. Average tower points. And 5th. Random sorting by the FMS. 10.6 Playoff Matches. Playoff matches follow the qualification matches. In the playoff matches, teams play on set alliances chosen during alliance selection and advance through a double elimination bracket. Teams do not earn ranking points. They advance based on winning, losing, or tying a match. A disqualified team, as determined by the head referee, causes their alliance to receive 0 match points in a playoff match. 10.6.1 Alliance Selection Process. At the end of the qualification matches, the top 8 ranked teams become the alliance leads. The ranked alliances are designated in order Alliance 1, Alliance 2, etc. down to Alliance 8. Using the alliance selection process described in this section, each alliance lead chooses 2 other teams to join their alliance. A break of 8 minutes occurs between the posting of scores from the last qualification match, scheduled or replay, whichever comes later, and the start of the alliance selection process for events that host alliance selection shortly after qualification matches. At the end of this break, Alliance 1 is on the clock, as defined below in T605. T601. Send your student representatives. Each team must choose and send a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 3 student team representatives. Representatives must report to the arena before the start of alliance selection. Violation. Team is ineligible for the playoff tournament if they are not represented by the time they are announced. Blue box. If an absent team would have been on an alliance lead, all lower ranked alliance leads are promoted 1 spot. The designated student representative from each alliance lead is called the alliance captain. If the alliance has sent multiple student representatives, they must designate only one as the alliance captain. This representative may change between alliance selection and playoff matches. T602. Students must outnumber adults. A non-student may additionally be a representative from a team if the team has exactly 2 student representatives. Violation. Non-student must leave the arena. Blue box. These are the possible combinations of alliance selection representatives between T601 and T602. A. 1 student. B. 2 students. C. 3 students. D. 2 students and 1 non-student. The alliance selection process consists of rounds during which each alliance captain invites a team ranked below them in the standings to join their alliance. The invited team's representative must either accept or decline the invitation immediately. If the team accepts, it becomes a member of the alliance. This process results in 8 alliances of 3 teams. Each round is complete when all alliances have added 1 additional team, and each round must be complete before the next round can begin. In round 1, selections are made in descending order, Alliance 1 to Alliance 8, whereas in round 2, selections are made in ascending order, Alliance 8 to Alliance 1. T603. only students may use the mic. Only a single student from the invited team is allowed to accept/decline. Violation. The team is assumed to have declined. T604. Only the alliance captain may invite an alliance. The alliance captain is the only representative of the alliance who may approach the MC and make a valid pick via the microphone. Violation. Pick does not count, and pick timer continues to count down. T605. Picks are time limited. Once the MC requests an alliance's selection, the alliance is considered on the clock, and the pick timer begins to count down. In round 1, the timer begins at 45 seconds. In round 2, the timer begins at 1 minute and 30 seconds. A sound will play to indicate that there are 5 seconds left on the timer, and a buzzer will go off to indicate the end of the time. The alliance captain must make a good faith effort as determined by the FDA or their designee to state a valid team selection before the expiration of the pick timer. Violation. The alliance is skipped and the MC moves to the next alliance unless the selection is the last of a round, in which case the alliance receives the next highest ranked unselected team to the alliance. Blue box. The time remaining on the pick timer is displayed on the field timers. Please note that audio cues are intended as a courtesy to participants and not intended as official markers. A valid team selection includes any team who has not yet accepted or declined an invitation to join another alliance is not an alliance lead that has had a pick timer violation. If an alliance captain attempts to select a team that is not valid, the pick timer continues to run until it either expires or a different valid team is invited to join the alliance. Examples of good faith efforts to state a valid team selection include but are not limited to A. Walking safely towards the MC when the clock hits 0. B. Starting to state a team as the clock hits 0. Examples that are not considered good faith efforts to quickly state a valid team selection include but are not limited to C. Continuing to talk with your alliance partners without moving towards the MC. D. Talking into the microphone for more than approximately 30 seconds without clearly stating a team number to invite. If an alliance captain extends a valid invitation and the invited team declines, the pick clock resets to the time for the designated round and restarts immediately. After each accepted alliance invitation or T605 violation, the MC invites an alliance captain that received a T605 violation in that round to make their selections. Each alliance captain may either indicate that they are ready to make their selection and immediately do so, as determined by the FDA or their designee, or indicate that they are not yet ready, and they will be revisited after the next accepted invitation or T605 violation. If a team with a T605 violation extends a valid invitation and the invited team declines, they are allowed to make another selection immediately, or else they are skipped and will be revisited as described above. If there are multiple alliance captains that have received T605 violations, they are revisited in the same order in which they received their violations. If all remaining teams in a round have received a T605 violation, each team is revisited to either make a pick immediately or receive the next highest ranked unselected team. Blue box. The alliance captain with the last selection of a given round may not be the alliance captain scheduled to have the final pick. For example, imagine in round 1 that alliances 1 through 6 have all made valid selections and alliance lead 6 receives a T605 violation. If alliance lead 8 makes a valid selection, then alliance lead 7 now has the final selection of round 1. A break of 2 minutes occurs between each round of selections. At the conclusion of the break, the alliance scheduled to make the next selection goes on the clock and their timer begins per T605. T606. Declining teams can't be picked. An alliance captain may not invite a team that has declined another alliance's invitation to participate in the playoff tournament. Declining teams are ineligible to be a backup team. Violation. The alliance captain must make another selection and pick timer continues to count down. Blue box. When a team has declined, the team will show with a strike through on the team number in the audience display. Teams highlighted in orange will become captain if not picked, will not get a strike through if they decline, as they can still become captains. An alliance lead that declines an invitation from another alliance is able to invite teams to join their alliance, but may not be invited to join another alliance. At the conclusion of alliance selection, the highest ranked unselected teams are eligible to become a backup team, as defined in Section 10.6.3 Backup Teams. 10.6.2 Playoff Match Bracket. The double elimination tournament consists of an upper and lower bracket as shown in Figure 10-2. Each alliance begins with a slot in the upper bracket. If an alliance wins a match in the upper bracket, they remain in the upper bracket. If an alliance loses a match in the upper bracket, they transition to the lower bracket. Alliances in the lower bracket must win any subsequent matches except for the finals to remain in the tournament, i.e., once they lose a match, they're out of the tournament. In round 1, the higher ranked alliance is assigned to the red alliance. For subsequent rounds, alliance color is assigned as shown in Figure 10-2, regardless of alliance rank at the start of the playoff tournament. Figure 10-2, playoff match bracket, red alliance tops each pairing. As shown in Figure 10-2 and Table 10-2, playoff matches consist of 6 rounds with breaks between later rounds and between final matches. Breaks begin after the field has been cleared from the previous match. The blue and red gap columns indicate the approximate times between alliances' matches. The expected start time of the scheduled match is the time indicated on the match schedule or 15 minutes from the end of either alliance's previous match, whichever is later. Occasionally, replayed matches within a round may be played out of order. If matches are played out of order, teams are informed by the MC, field staff, and/or queuing staff. If a playoff match needs to be replayed, as described in Section 10.2 Match Replays, teams are notified of when the replay will occur. A minimum 10-minute delay is provided for teams to reset their robots prior to replay unless all teams are ready sooner. The affected match must be replayed before the next round begins. (10.6.2.1) Playoff Match Ties. If final match scores for both alliances are equal, the win is awarded to the alliance per criteria listed in Table 10-3. Table 10-3. Playoff Match Tiebreaker Criteria. Order sort and criteria. Order sort. First, criteria. Cumulative major foul points due to opponent rule violations. Second, alliance auto fuel points. Third, alliance tower points. And fourth, match is replayed. 10.6.2.2 Playoff Finals. Once a single alliance remains in each upper and lower bracket, those alliances proceed to the finals round. The first alliance to win 2 matches in the finals becomes the event's champions. If a finals match ends in a tie score, the tie is not broken using the criteria in Table 10-3. The match remains a tie. In the case where an alliance hasn't won 2 matches, after 3 matches have been played, because of tied matches, the playoffs proceed with up to 3 additional finals matches, called overtime matches, until an alliance has won 2 finals matches. In the case where the overtime match scores for both alliances are equal, the win for the overtime match is awarded based on the criteria listed in Table 10-3. 10.6.3 Backup Teams. During the playoff matches, an alliance captain may elect to replace one of its robots. The team whose robot and drive team replaces another robot and drive team on alliance during the playoff matches is called the backup team. In this situation, the alliance captain has the option to bring in the highest ranked team from the pool of available teams to join its alliance for the following match. The resulting alliance is then composed of 4 teams. Blue box. Alliances submit lineups as described in Section 10.6.4 lineups for each playoff match. After the backup team's first playoff match, the alliance's lineup may consist of any 3 of the alliance's 4 teams. 10.6.3.1 Backup Team Coupons. Each alliance is allotted 1 backup team coupon during the playoff matches. If 2 or more robots from the alliance become inoperable, then the Alliance must play the following matches with only 2 or even 1 robots. Blue box. Example: 3 teams, A, B, and C, form an alliance going into the playoff matches. The highest ranked team not on one of the 8 alliances is Team D. During one of the playoff matches, Team C's robot suffers damage to its mechanical arm. The alliance captain decides to bring in Team D to replace Team C in the next match. The new alliance of teams A, B, C, and D are successful in advancing to the finals and win the event. Teams A, B, C, and D are all recognized as members of the winning alliance and receive awards. The head referee will not accept the backup team coupon unless it lists the number of the team whose robot is being replaced and is initialed by the alliance captain. Once a backup team coupon is submitted and accepted by the head referee, the backup team coupon may not be withdrawn by the alliance. T607. No backup team for replayed matches. An alliance may not request a backup team for a replayed match. The sole exception is if, in the judgment of the head referee, the replay is due to an arena fault that renders an alliance's robot inoperable. Violation: the request is denied. T608. No backup teams for first match. An alliance may not request a backup team until after their first playoff match. Violation: the request is denied. T609. Backup teams play when called. A backup team must be included in the lineup for the alliance's next match following their recruitment. Violation: the lineup is denied. Blue box. If the head referee is busy and there is no designee, the alliance captain remains at the question box to report the lineup. T610. Backup teams due 2 minutes before the match start time. The backup team coupon must be submitted to the head referee or their designee by the alliance captain not later than 2 minutes before the expected match start time in which the backup team is to play. Violation: the request is denied. If the head referee is busy and there is no designee, the alliance captain remains at the question box to submit the backup team coupon. 10.6.3.2 Backup Pool. After the top-ranked alliance has made their final pick during alliance selection, the lead queuer or their designee polls the remaining eligible teams. In rank order, the lead queuer or their designee will invite remaining teams to accept or decline a position in the backup pool, i.e., the group of teams willing and able to join an alliance during the playoff matches, if needed, until up to 8 teams accept. T611. Be there to be a backup. A team must be present after alliance selection to accept the lead queuers or their designee's invitation to join the backup pool. Violation: team is ineligible to be a backup team. T612. Send a backup team representative. The top 2 ranked backup teams must send at least 1 student representative and optionally 1 additional student or mentor to a designated area near the field for the duration of the playoff matches. These 2 representatives are able to answer questions and accept invitations to be a backup team from alliance captains. If one of these 2 teams joins an alliance or excuses themselves from the backup pool, the next highest ranked team in the backup pool must provide their representative. Once a backup team has declined an invitation to join an alliance, it is no longer a member of the backup pool and ineligible to join another alliance. Violation: verbal warning, plus the team is removed from the backup pool, if the situation cannot be corrected within a reasonable amount of time. Blue box. Some events may offer an area near the field where the top 1 or 2 teams in the backup pool may choose to stage their robot for quick and easy access to the field if recruited. 10.6.4 Lineups. Each alliance competing in a playoff match has the option to submit a lineup, which lists the 3 teams participating in the match and their selected driver stations. The lineup is kept confidential until the field is set for the match, at which point each alliance's lineup appears on the team signs. 10.6.4.1 Lineups for 4-team alliances. If an alliance has 4 members, either because a 3-team alliance has called a backup team or the event is the first championship, a single representative from the team not on the lineup is allowed as a 16th alliance member, but must be a member of the team's drive team. This additional representative may only serve as a drive coach. 10.6.4.2 Default Lineup. T613. Lineups due 2 minutes before the match. The alliance captain must submit their lineup in writing to the head referee or their designee 2 minutes before their expected match start time. Violation: Late lineups are denied, and the alliance's most recent lineup is applied. Blue box. If the head referee is busy and there is no designee, the alliance captain remains in the question box to report the lineup. If no previous lineup exists, the alliance lead is assigned driver station 2. First team selected is assigned driver station 1, and the second team selected is assigned driver station 3. If any of these 3 robots are unable to play, the alliance must play the match with only 2 or even 1 robots. Example: 3 teams, A, B, and C, form an alliance going into the playoff matches. During one of the playoff matches, Team C's robot becomes inoperable. The team's alliance decides to bring in Team D to replace Team C. Team C repairs their robot and may play in any subsequent playoff matches, replacing teams A, B, or C, or D. If a backup team coupon is accepted and the lineup for the next match is not submitted, or it omits the backup team, then the alliance's most recent lineup is used with the backup team in the position populated by the team for whom they're substituting. T614. For replays, no changing lineups mostly. If a match must be replayed due to an arena fault, the lineup for the replayed match is the same as the original match. The sole exception is if, in the opinion of the head referee, the arena fault rendered a robot inoperable, in which case the lineup can be changed. Violation: the new lineup is denied. 10.6.5 Pit Crews. During the playoff matches, and because of the distance between the field and the pit area, extra team members may be needed to maintain and otherwise assist with the robot between matches. Each team is permitted to have up to 3 additional pit crew members to help with needed robot repairs/maintenance. 10.6.6 Small Event Exceptions. The scheduling algorithm described in Section 10.5.2 Match Assignments works to minimize teams playing in back-to-back matches. However, at events with fewer than 24 teams, back-to-back plays may occur. Multi-day events with 24 teams or fewer employ a modified playoff match format. Instead of 8 alliances, these events proceed through alliance selection and the playoff tournament with the maximum number of complete 3 team alliances that can be formed while leaving at least 1 backup team. E.g., a 24-team event creates 7 alliances, a 20-team event creates 6 alliances. Alliance count equals team count minus 1 backup team divided by 3, rounded down. The playoff match bracket remains as shown in Figure 10-2, with any match against a non-existent alliance resulting in a bye, i.e. automatic advancement to the next round. An alliance assigned a bye match is invited, though not required, to practice together in a null match, i.e. it has no bearing on the playoff tournament during the designated time in the playoff schedule. District points for draft order acceptance per 11.1.1 alliance selection results are awarded as if a full set of alliances was selected, i.e. the second selection of the 3-seed alliance still receives 3 points, regardless of how many alliances are formed.